Governor Reynolds vetoed a controversial eminent domain bill today. The bill looked to restrict companies from using eminent domain to build pipeline projects unless they follow certain criteria. KCCI's Caitlin James tells us why some Iowans say they're disappointed, while others are applauding the governor's move.
We have to thank the governor for actually looking into the bill, looking into the details of the bill.
For some, like Iowa Renewable Fuels Association Policy Director Nathan Holstein, Governor Reynolds vetoing the eminent domain bill brings about a sigh of relief. But for others,
her legacy is that she took business and big money over the farmers and the landowners.
Disappointed is the word Shelby County landowner Sherry Webb used when expressing the moment she found out Governor Reynolds vetoed the bill. The bill would have made it so companies had to follow new insurance requirements and put a limit of 25 years on a pipeline's permit. It would have also required companies to prove they were a, quote, common carrier in order to use eminent domain to build pipeline projects.
It's going to drive up cost, energy cost on consumers. Was going to drive up inputs on farmers. When you look around, it's not the time to do that.
Governor Reynolds addressed her decision in a letter shared Wednesday, where she noted she respects both sides of the debate and shares the bill's goal of protecting landowners. But she wrote, quote, good policy should draw clear, careful lines. This bill doesn't. She went on to write, it sets a, quote, troubling precedent that threatens Iowa's energy reliability, economy, and reputation as a place where businesses can invest with confidence. But some landowners like Webb disagree and say this move by the governor sets a different precedent.
The next company that comes in willy-nilly with some kind of economic development, which stands for eminent domain also, they'll get it because the precedent's already been set.
The governor also provided what she called an example in the letter, writing that the bill would block a pipeline project that uses only voluntary easements, Southwest Iowa Renewable Energy. KCCI did reach out to Southwest Iowa Renewable Energy, but did not hear back by the time this aired. Whether for or against this bill, people KCCI spoke with believe discussions and legislation regarding eminent domain are not over.
We will be back next January working on either this one, something similar to this one, but definitely no eminent domain for CO2 pipelines.
We're happy to sit down with legislators that are opposed to these projects. We've been trying to talk with many of them over the last 3+ years on figuring out how do we figure out a way to have a middle ground approach.
In Des Moines, Kayla James, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
And by the way, the last time Iowa lawmakers voted to override a governor's veto was in 2006. And that particular veto was the first in Iowa in more than 40 years. Iowa House Speaker Republican Pat Grassley is calling for the legislature to reconvene in a special session to override the veto. Iowa Senate Majority Leader Republican Jack Whitver says he does not believe the Senate's majority party is interested in attempting to override this veto. In his statement, Whitver says, quote, based on the votes on that bill in the Iowa Senate, a significant majority of our caucus supports a better policy to protect landowner rights, end quote. Senate Democratic leader Janice Weiner expressed her disappointment in the veto. She says, quote, there is simply no amount of political posturing or legislative stonewalling that can deny the fact that Iowans' right to private property should never be infringed upon for private gain.